The second joint meeting was hosted by U.S. Defense Chief Austin, and including Philippine Defense Secretary Teodoro, the Australian Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Defense Richard Marles, and the Japanese Minister of Defense Kohara Minoru. The meeting took place at the U.S. military, its regional headquarters, the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command at Camp H.M. Smith in the hills above the Pearl Harbor. So my question for Professor Liu is that, does this mean the U.S. will take the lead in containing the CCP in the South China Sea and depart from the past pattern of so-called offshore balancing, hoping that the Philippines and even Taiwan will do more?
Of course, I support your question. Obviously, 4 countries joined together with the original effort by the U.S. government. Obviously, there is a hope from the United States effort to combine with 4 countries together and putting more heavy weight on the Philippine side vis-a-vis China. But whether this means that the U.S. is going to directly involve in this thing, it is still deserve to watch it further, because we know that unless there is something happening in between China and the Philippines, for example, China occupies any legal land of the Philippines or damage or killed people, then it would activate mutual defense treaty between the U.S. and the Philippines. But obviously, the reason why China is conducting more like a gray zone strategy, which trying to avoid such a direct military confrontation. So I'm pretty sure there is something to show to Beijing. The U.S. is putting more weight on the Philippine side, supporting the Philippines, bring in Australia and Japan behind it. But of course, in this particular sense, as you ask, how exactly Taiwan may be able to respond, I think that this is in between the Philippines and China. Even if involving South China Sea sovereignty as a Republic of China, Taiwan already claimed for such a long period of time. So it will not be appropriate at this moment we jump on to this scene. But of course, there is a likelihood, as we are working closely on the security dimension with the United States, Japan, and also neighboring country. So there is a potential trend. Taiwan may be linking up with this collaboration later.
Before jumping to the question, Professor Tsai, I still have the follow-up for you. Is that you just mentioned that the gray zone tactic is pretty much utilized by CCP. So what about the United States? It seems to me that the United States would not like to see the escalation in the South China Sea as well, even though there's a dispute about this freedom in navigation on the sides of Western countries. So what might be the U.S. mentality, I mean, especially from the Biden administration, in your observation?
Currently, in between the U.S. and China, obviously there is no strategic consensus between the 2 countries. But having said that, both countries agree they should not really engage too much to run into a conflict or war between these 2 countries. So in the sense, the United States, as I observe, the United States is putting more weight on the Philippine side, trying to lift up the defense capabilities the Philippines needs. So bringing in Japan and Australia. So these 2 countries in the region can also possibly supply Coast Guard capabilities, helping Philippines to stand up further against China. But that would be something to show to China. Now the Philippines would have 3 regional parties backing up, and they are not going to break through. But of course, to show, to me, is more like a political message to Beijing that in the future, if China is messing up with something, it is not just the Philippines, and there would be 3 parties supporting the Philippines behind the scene.